Hey, CE Avengers fans, how's it going? Ramon Pinheiro here from CE Avengers, and I Love Local Rewards. Here interviewing another small business. So this is MEM Nutrition. Owner's name is Marie. She's going to tell us a little bit about her business. So Marie, tell us first and foremost, how do people get in contact with you?
Sure. So I am a virtual practice. So all of my appointments take place, or client appointments take place online. They can reach out to me via my website, which is MEM Nutrition Wellness.com. And there's my contact information. So I take phone calls on my business line. I also have an email account where they can reach out to me. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. So clients can reach out at those places as well.
All right, awesome. So kind of going into it, what made you go into the nutritional world and wellness world?
I mean, I've always been interested in health, but I also have a strong interest in science, and nutrition kind of brought those worlds together for me. So I, get into nutrition research and science, and enjoy kind of translating that information for clients to help them reach their health goals.
Okay. Now, do you work with any type of range of clients? Like, is it like people from like the super healthy to the people that really need help? Because like people like me who are like, a burger is really good right now. Let me eat that instead of, going to more healthier choices. So do you have a wide range of clientele?
Yeah, for sure. So clients come to me, from the whole spectrum, from folks who, eat kind of the fast food soda diet, to clients who are very conscious of what they're eating, but it's not serving them necessarily. So they might just have some specific need that's not being met even by a really, quote unquote, clean diet. So I certainly see the full range of clients in my practice, and anyone can benefit from having, either like a kind of a whole approach to their, changing everything to making small tweaks.
Okay. So like, kind of take me through kind of a little bit of what you do. In the sense of evaluating a client is, do you find out like, does it matter like their age, or does it matter like if they're, have certain health requirements initially? Like, do you get like a questionnaire that they have to fill that out, or is it more like you kind of do that in your first sessions and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So clients fill out some general information from me before the appointment. And then we get into more details during the actual appointment, because I take, a really patient-centered approach. And so talking to clients live while they're answering those questions is oftentimes more useful than having them write it out. But I do take, sometimes clients will do food journaling before they meet with me. Not everyone, but that is sometimes useful. And then, they fill out those general questions that help me understand their picture before they come in.
Okay. Now, when it comes to like nutrition, do you kind of go through the different like steps of diets and like lifestyle changes? Like, I know that there's sometimes that people say it's not a diet per se, it's more of a lifestyle change, because you're changing overall what they're doing, not necessarily just changing it for the weight loss type of thing.
That's correct. So it is, I refer to it as an approach versus a diet.
Okay.
So it's not a prescribed diet, with the goal of, with a certain number of calories or something like that. It is an overall approach. Now, I do have meal plans that I use when clients want specific meal planning that does give them a specific, 3 meals and however many snacks per day for the week. But with the goal of them then changing habits based on that, and then moving forward, being able to meal plan for themselves in that sort of similar way. And then some clients don't use a specific meal plan, and then we're working on the overall approach and looking at kind of the overall nutrient picture.
Okay. And so like they have these fad diets, I guess you could say, or fad approaches like keto. Some people go vegan, some people are vegetarian. Now, is there like any one approach that you use, or is it more kind of like it depends on what fits the person?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I mean, I do definitely steer away from fad diets.
Okay.
So, you know, clients aren't going to come to me and do a Whole30 or a paleo or, you know, necessarily anything like that. But like you said as well, it's very tailored to the specific individual.
Okay. Now, with nutrition, do you do like endomorph, ectomorph, mesomorph type of, I know a little bit, but you know, like, do you go like the overall like body type of the person, and then you're like, okay, based on your body type or blood type or blah blah blah, does it help you break down kind of like what's the best nutrition for their specific type?
No, I don't. Yeah, no, that's not part of the picture for the way that, you know, I would address a client's needs. And, you know, as dietitians, we use a very evidence-based approach. So we're using, you know, the most, what has the most evidence behind it in terms of being effective. What I do, in terms of kind of a diagnostic for patients is I do offer blood testing for food sensitivity, which some clients are good fit for. So that is a separate, like a separate treatment plan. And I also like assess those patients beforehand so that I evaluate whether or not they're a good fit for that type of testing. And then they would be eating in a very specific way based on the results of that test.
Okay. So, I mean, this is some good information. So I have some people in my life that they're actually on like an anti-inflammatory diet. Now, is that something that you usually recommend for a lot of people, or is that something that you would say, okay, for certain people and certain blood types, or I should say blood types, but certain types of people, they may benefit from it more than other types?
Yeah, anti-inflammatory is really a good approach for anyone. But then you know, for a specific person, then you can build in other parameters to that anti-inflammatory diet. But basically, you know, we think of the standard American diet, such as the high processed foods, high meat products, those kinds of things, as pro-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Right. And so when we move, so for any of us, we benefit from moving toward an anti-inflammatory diet for sure. And that just, you know, is involving the seafoods and the fruits and vegetables and things like that.
Okay. And now, do you also work with people that are picky eaters? So like, you know, if somebody's looking for specifically like, you know, like, listen, like I'm somebody that doesn't like seafood personally. It's just not a preference for me. Is that something that you would say, well, here's an alternative to seafood that would give you the same value? Just because, like, you know,
yeah,
or you know, kind of
I mean, for sure. I have lots of clients who are very picky eaters, who have strong preferences. We refer to them as food aversions in the business. And so, yes, we definitely, I find alternatives that can be suitable, or, you know, sometimes we try and work through some of those aversions.
Okay, so I mean, basically, you would say, you know, listen, it might be something that you're averted to now, but maybe you might want to try something similar and then kind of work their way into it.
Yeah, sometimes we can, we do like an exposure where we have them have just a small amount of it, record what they, you know, thought and felt about it, and try and work, because sometimes it's related to fear. And so we kind of work through those feelings a bit and try and see if they can overcome some of those fears and include some of those foods, you know, if it's, you know, and then it's kind of a balance in terms of figuring out how worth it is it for us to go through that. Is this a food that they're really going to benefit from? Or, you know, and then we, you know, do cost benefit, if whether or not it's worth really working on that food aversion, or if we can find suitable alternatives and we don't need to, kind of push through that as much.
Now, do you service like pretty much anybody like in the United States, in the world, or is this something strictly like the Hudson Valley, or like do you venture out? Like I know that you said that you're virtual, but
yeah, so right now I work with clients anywhere in New York State because that's where my licensing covers me for, as well as my insurance.
Okay.
So I do anywhere in New York State, but I've been focused just on this area. I've seen the farthest that I've seen so far is Albany, Buffalo, but that's just been here and there, and mostly it's been pretty local.
Okay. So, the most important thing is I want to make sure that people understand that, as a small business owner, especially with coronavirus. Now, were you always virtual, or just did coronavirus to like send you that direction?
So this practice has always been virtual. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I
So
started
you were already
during
prepared before it even happened.
Well, no, I started during the pandemic. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, it works out then.
Yeah.
I mean, and plus, with everybody going in quarantine, or, them having most of the time that they're home now, it gives them a better way of formulating their diets, formulating their lifestyles, especially when they were stuck in the house every day, looking at the four walls of their home, to then, venturing back out. Now, with the wellness portion, now, do you also give people like an exercise regimen, like yoga, Reiki, or stuff like that? Or is it more strictly on the nutrition part?
I do physical activity as part of the plan as well. Each client has their own that has a specific assignment for that. And then for wellness, we do, whatever is approachable for the client. Sometimes meditation, yoga, something that deals with stress, because we know that stress has a big impact on our overall health. So our body weight, as well as our, nutrition, our digestion as well. So stress management is also part of the plan.
Okay. And now, do you tell your professional opinion? Do you suggest that certain people would be able to take like supplements, or is that something that you were like, listen, let's try to get it out of your food value first before we even look at a supplement?
I mean, I do definitely take a food first approach, but I also utilize supplements in the practice as well.
Okay. And now do you offer any of those products, or is it something like, here's a list of things that you would want to purchase and here's where you would get it from?
Yeah, what I do is I have an online dispensary, and so the client will get the kind of their prescription through the online dispensary, and then they can just get it from there.
Oh, awesome. I mean, so you're a one-stop shop for nutrition and wellness.
That's what I like to think of it as. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. So, that's the most important part. I want to make sure that people kind of understand where you are and where you're coming from. Some people actually had like lifestyle changes in their own sense. Did you always have this type of like push in life that you always wanted to kind of help people on the nutrition and wellness portion?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I basically I found yoga in like my 20s, I guess. And from that's kind of what pushed me in that direction, because then at that point I started to realize all the connections. And so I would say it was kind of through yoga that I found my way to nutrition.
Oh, that's awesome. See, so like it's interconnected. I want to make sure that we capture your information one more time, because, depending on if people scroll through the video or not. There's a couple different ways to get in contact with you. So let's start with the website, the email, and then if there's any other forms, tell us how to get in contact with you. Yeah,
the website is just the business name. So MEM Nutrition Wellness.com.
Okay.
And then what did you say? Facebook.
Yeah.
And then, Facebook, I'm at MEM Nutrition and Wellness also. And Instagram, my handle is, let's check, what is it?
I'll see if I can check too, real quick.
It's MEM Nutrition.
Okay.
For Instagram. So any of those ways is fine. And there's contact pages on the website. People can just fill out and send it or request information.
Okay. Awesome.
They're also able, I will say also, to book a 15-minute consult call on the website as well.
Okay. So when they do that consult, is that like the initial, like, kind of like the first stop for you? So that way you could kind of evaluate the client and then see if that's something that
it's,
you know, understand.
It's a quick call, with me, free, just to see if, we're a good fit to work together.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, those are some great things that you're offering, and you are a part of I Love Local Rewards, so you also offer a deal there as well. So you have to have a card in order to see her deal, guys. So make sure that you get your card. It's only $10 and it's good for a whole year. But the basic benefit is that not only is her business on there, but a multitude of almost 100 different businesses in the Hudson Valley are on there, supporting each other, networking, and also, trying to get you to have your new favorite type of business. She's a small business in the area. Why not help, especially during this time when everybody was pent up, you kind of get that quarantine weight. You want to make sure that you change your lifestyle for the better. Talk to MEM Nutrition and Wellness. Maria will definitely help you out. I mean, as you can see, she's very knowledgeable in everything having to do with nutrition and the wellness portion. So you want to make sure that you check out a small business, support them, even try them out, because you never know, she may be your new favorite. That's Ramon Pinheiro signing off for I Love Local Rewards, where your local is our local, and this is another local business. Subscribe and follow.